friends, and welcome to the podcast, Movies, Cards, and the Stars. I am your host, Madame President of the Artegan, Natalie, spelled Natalee, and today we're taking a look, mother of pearl, and today we're taking a look at the Godfather. Meditations that will bring us closer to the suit of cups in the tarot, including the page, knight, queen, and king, as well as elements in astrology having to do with the 4th, 8th, and 12th houses, the moon, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer signs. The connection point for all of these things rests on one central figure, Michael Corleone. It was one of my first downloads when I popped the King of Cups, and when I looked at this card in a reading, I just felt the weight of this man. I just felt the gravitas. I felt the emotional intensity in those big dark eyes. And it was like this immediate download all at once. And I also got a very strong scorpionic energy. So just like Michael Corleone is a powerful image and a powerful force and a powerful person in the Godfather films, he is so because of his level of self-mastery and self-possession. This is a huge theme for the water signs in astrology, for the suit of cups in the tarot, and it is absolute life or death, make it or break it in the Godfather. Whoever is the most self-possessed in the room knows the most out of everyone in the room and is therefore the most powerful person in the room. Michael is the son of Don Vito Corleone. Initially does not make it clear or obvious or that he's enthusiastic about the family business. He doesn't lie about it, though. He doesn't lie to Kay about who he is, where he comes from, or who his family is. This kind of self-respect really magnetizes me to the higher vibration of Scorpio. Scorpio has that same self-respect, deep internal integrity as the Capricorn does. A little bit different, but just the same. Scorpio chooses not to commit infidelity or assist in infidelity, not because they don't think they can get away with it. It's because they have self-respect deep down, that they know what they did. They know, and that's the most important perspective. Feelings are at the center of the suit of cups. You start with the Ace of Cups, going all the way to the 10 of Cups. So much universal and divine information is conveyed to us through one emotion. So one emotion, one feeling can contain trilobytes and gigabytes and billibytes of information, of cosmic information. So if you can comprehend at least some of it, or even understand some of it, some of the full scope of the meaning of what you're feeling, that is why you have emotional wisdom. That is why you are at a higher level of awareness and consciousness, because of what you can understand. It's like a bundle. Instead of understanding one thought at a time in a linear sense and fashion, you're understanding billions of bundles of thoughts and concepts and ideas and feelings in one emotion. And along that adventure of feeling, you learn to go from the innocent Page of Cups, who offers their emotions, offers their friendship, offers their love to anyone, and no limits, just no boundary, just fully falling in love without thinking or looking twice, to the Knight of Cups, who is a little bit more discerning after having learned from their first heartbreak to not just give all of yourself away at the very beginning to absolutely everyone that you meet. The Knight does learn a little bit to qualify others and to qualify themselves. However, they're still on this adventure of learning their own feelings, becoming self-possessed, and still trying to figure out how to offer their cup, where these boundaries should be put down and where bonds should be extended instead. This is one of the primary lessons for Scorpios, Pisces, Cancerian, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs, anyone that has planets in the 4th, 8th, and 12th houses, anyone that has important aspects between these planets, the moon, Neptune, Pluto, Mars. So you can also look to the rulers of these houses, the ruler of your 12th house, even if it's a fire sign, the ruler of your 8th house, even if it's an earth sign, the ruler of your 4th house, even if it's an air sign, and those planetary aspects where those planets are posited in your natal story of energies. But Michael doesn't have astrology. Michael isn't using the tarot. Michael is a pure, perfect example of following your intuition to get through life, letting your intuition inform you of the real motives of others, as well as being able to access the truth of how you feel and why. Michael has this extremely rare combination of emotional wisdom and mental strength and fortitude. When I talk about different levels of consciousness, it's like watching a movie or a grown-up movie when you're a child and just not really getting anything, and then watching it again when you're an adult and understanding everything. Personally, for me, we used to watch The Godfather. The adults would watch The Godfather on Christmas morning, so it was this yearly thing, and I just remember the earliest memories of it were just, there's people, stuff's happening on the screen. Some loud noises every once in a while, that's it. Got a little older, started hearing some bad words, picking up on some aggression, some tension, still not knowing what's going on, seeing the guns, noticing the guns in the movie, noticing even more tension, heightened tension, something really big's going on, something really serious. And then you get to, now that I'm an adult, now, you just learn more and more and more. But the movie has not changed, and this is why I love movies more than theater. I actually don't like the theater. I don't like going to see plays. I know people like theater because every time you go to the production, it's different. You're never getting the same show twice. While that's the reason why people prefer theater over movies, that's precisely the reason why I prefer movies over theater. You see, every time I go to sit down to see The Godfather, it's exactly the same, but I'm different. I have grown into a new level of consciousness. Just like it's been growing up from a child that didn't understand anything, to noticing the guns, to feeling the tension, to understanding the deeper dynamics of what Michael goes throughout his life. Tarot and astrology are fantastic tools to aid you. Don't forget, just like Michael, you ultimately want to master yourself so you understand your blind spots, your weaknesses, that are going to prevent you from seeing other people for who they really are, or mentally accepting the limitations or the falsehoods of others around you, no matter how much you want them to be better or different. His one blind spot, Michael's one blind spot, was K. The higher vibration of Piscean, Scorpionic, Cancerian energy can feel deeply so that they feel from your position, not of your position, in a judging, critical way. And they have compassion for wherever it is that you are. And they have the self-knowledge, self-awareness, self-possession, King and Queen of Cups here, to take care of their own emotional needs on an individual basis. Michael was able to see the emotional immaturity of everyone around him, the mental and spiritual weaknesses of the people around him. His mental strength, his psychological strength was so great, and when you have that great balance between the deeper waters of emotional energy with mental strength and powers, you are truly unstoppable. It is only a matter of time before you are able to alchemize the parts of you that will self-sabotage, that will project, that will ruin, that will destroy, that will inhibit, that will lie, that will undo all of your good work, into your greatest strengths that will serve you, protect you, get you more of what you desire, accomplish more of what you wish, strengthen the bonds that you care about the most, forge new connections that you really care about making. The emotional tenacity of Michael Corleone, when his father almost is lost from him forever in this near-death experience, is very indicative of Cancerian and Scorpionic energies. When that key turns in the Scorpio, in the Cancer Sun, Moon, Rising, and that safe is unlocked, the force that they will unleash onto the world to protect what they love, what they care about, is absolutely, truly admirable for all of us to watch. And that's what makes The Godfather such an incredible film. Right away, Michael goes to the most extreme solution: to murder a police captain and Selassie, and then annihilate the heads of the 5 families and go away for a year in Italy. That level of response and force and intensity is what has captivated us for, I guess, half a century. And he is transformed into the story that he was born to, that he had tried to rewrite, becoming, I think it was a Marine, fighting the Nazis, this whole other life that he was setting up for himself. The King and the Queen of Cups in the tarot can be extremely wise, emotionally mature, nurturing and protective and supportive, or they can take what they can learn and intuit about others and try to weaponize that and use that against them so that they can get what they want. Michael had one blind spot. That was Kay. Not even Fredo was a blind spot. Michael was smart enough to not argue with any of these people, not with Fredo, not with Connie, not with Sonny. He knew that they couldn't handle an honest conversation. He was so honest with himself that he could see the limits of everyone around him as individuals where they stopped being honest with themselves. But he didn't exploit that and use that against his family members. He just stayed quiet and took care of them. And what did they do? Well, Fredo betrayed him. Kay betrayed him. After all of that, everything he did, how he changed his life, not just to survive, but to attain a level of emotional security that he was comfortable with. Because we know how water signs feel about that. The emotional security trigger got so critical. He was plunged into this crisis situation with his father that it triggered this place inside of him. So you can see how all at once his higher vibrations and his lower vibrations were in operation. The revenge, the manipulation, the violence, the control, for him to feel emotionally secure. For himself, for his family, for his father. Michael was already on his way to becoming a King of Cups, a leader, self-possessed, self-actualized, masterful, just like he mastered his body, learning combat, getting stronger, working with his team. When this happens, the choice is so clear for him. It just comes together seamlessly. And even that is an intuition. Even that is something that he grabbed from the ethers. When Tom Hagen and Sonny are talking about what to do and the situation, and Michael sits in that chair with a swollen face, with the perfect plan. This is the most compelling thing about The Godfather, is watching Michael solve complex problems. And the way a water sign does it, or King of Cups, Queen of Cups does it, is through feeling the right way forward, through feeling the next best thing. And only when your own emotional body is uncorrupted can you feel the next right thing. Because when we're in a lower state, when we are in a weaker state, and we're not self-possessed, that next right thing could be something vengeful or violent or inappropriate. And it might be very clever, depending on the other cards that are around the King and the Queen, and the Page and the Knight of Cups, or any other cup cards, depending on the aspects that these planets are making, depending on the houses that are being activated, depending on the quality of the aspects, and the free will of the individual living it, the individual who lives with these aspects in their natal chart permanently, the individual who is being read at your table for a tarot reading. That free will combined with an accurate and honest assessment of that person's level of self-mastery and self-possession will tell you what you can expect from them next, or how they will respond and meet certain challenging or rewarding situations in life. Think about yourself, your life, your journey from the Ace of Cups all the way to the Ten of Cups, your level of awareness and consciousness, emotional maturation, and being honest with yourself about the feelings you don't want to face yet, the emotional truths that you need a little bit of more time before you can confront or meet, because until we're ready, we will not understand. It'll be like watching a movie that we're lost from the very beginning, like a child watching The Godfather on Christmas morning. Watch The Godfather. Be patient with yourself. And just study the ways of Michael, because it is your cognitive dissonance that protects you and protects all of us from what we're not yet ready to understand. It's too big, it's too much. We need to learn in incremental growth and little things first, and build upon it like the page going to the knight. Just trust that you will get there if you want. If you want to eventually be healed enough where you don't self-sabotage, where you have no fear, where you are strong and confident, set that as your focus and be patient with yourself, and you will get to Michael Corleone status. I guarantee it. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my first podcast, Movies, Cards, and the Stars. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, A Meditation. We'll pick a new movie next week. Please let me know your movie requests in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Watch Natalie. We'll pick a new movie next week and meditate on how it connects with tarot and astrology for a fun and easy way to elevate our overall understanding of life and each other. I look forward to our chat next week. Until then, I wish you many magical blessings upon all of your magical heads, darlings. Mwah.